Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the THE Student. We have a very exciting university with us today, all the way from Canada. And yeah, this is Medicine Hat College in Canada. They're going to be telling us all about their exciting programs and courses for you guys. So I will hand over to you guys. I think Clara's kicking us off.
Yes, thank you, Amelia. So I'll just share my slide. Okay. Oh, okay. So thank you everyone for being here. My name is Clara. I'm the International Student Academic Advisor, International Student Recruiter here at Medicine Hat College. And with me here is Connie Grove. She is the International Student Academic Advisor in Medicine Hat. So we are very excited to introduce you to Medicine Hat College. Okay, so where is Medicine Hat College located? Medicine Hat College is located in the city of Medicine Hat in the province of Alberta in Canada. We are located in the southeast Alberta, about 40 minutes away from Saskatchewan border, 1.5 hours away from US border in Montana, 3 hours away from Calgary, 4 hours from Banff, 6 hours from Edmonton, and 14 hours drive from Vancouver. Hey, so there's a lot of advantages of studying in Medicine Hat. First, Medicine Hat offers affordable living costs, safe and welcoming community. So it's very good for international students who have their family members with them in Medicine Hat. Beautiful landscape and wildlife. We are very close to Waterton National Park, which is about 3 hours drive. And Medicine Hat is also considered as the sunniest city in Canada. Okay. So Medicine Hat offers affordable living costs and opportunities for part-time work. Student residence costs about $685 per month. A typical cost of two-bedroom apartment is between $1,500 to $1,600 a month. Medicine Hat offers low unemployment rates with strong retail and hospitality sectors, and Medicine Hat also has low crime rate. So one of the questions that international students would ask me whenever they first come to Medicine Hat College is, are there a lot of part-time job opportunities? And I would say yes, compared to a lot of cities around Medicine Hat, especially the bigger cities like Edmonton or Calgary, there's more opportunities for part-time job for the students. I would say a lot of the students would be able to get a job within 2 to 3 months compared to the other cities that may take longer for them to get a part-time job.
So as Clara mentioned, we are very happy to be here. And as I was introduced, I'm Connie Grove. I was actually originally born in El Salvador, so I speak Spanish. So for anybody who's joining us that is of Spanish speaking, at the end of this presentation, we'll have a Q&A or question and answer period. So feel free to also ask your questions in Spanish if you feel more comfortable. So just going on about what our city, we have a beautiful city. We can both attest to that. We've lived here many years. I'm raising a family. I have 2 children. And so it's a very safe community, and we'll be talking more about that. But shopping is a big question with international students. What is available at in Medicine Hat? So we have, of course, some stores, retail, and groceries. So as far as some of the stores are mentioned on there, we have one big mall, and then we have more like a box store mall, which is just like one street where you have the big stores, but a mall which is internally here. So go inside to shop. We have one of those big malls. We also have stores, clothing stores, one called Winners. You can buy clothes that are like less expensive because they're brand name clothes that are not sold or they cannot sell them at the stores. So stores like Winners purchased all that merchandise, and then they sell it at their stores at a more discounted price. We have stores like that are more like used clothing type, and it's Salvation Army, the Valley Village store, and of course the thrift store for the White Treasure. So people can actually find good quality clothing at a very reasonable price because it is used clothing. And then we have the famous Dollarama, Dollar Trees. I'm sure you have those stores where you are, where things cost $1 or a couple of dollars or so. So for grocery stores, we have the regular Walmarts of the world. We have one here in Medicine Hat. And there's a very Canadian grocery store called the Real Canadian Superstore. And Save on Foods, Sobeys, those are all grocery stores that we have here. Freshco, they have good quality and produce and products. We also have some international produce that gets brought in from other places into these stores. So you can also find something that is something you're more familiar with. There's also international specific stores, and that's the Grace International is Filipino, but they also bring in some Latin American products into their store. We have an Asian market, we have a Mexican market, specifically Mexican products, and an Oriental market. So there's a lot of shopping here, opportunities for you to be able to try new things, but also be able to maybe try things from back home, and that just feels more comfortable to you. Here are some beautiful pictures of our city. Of course, you have not been here, and so we want to bring our city to you. The top left picture there is, they call it a big paddle. It's once a year. They do that when the river is not very low, and so they invite people who have either paddle boards or kayaks, and so they invite people to come out, and so we have hundreds of people that come onto the river. You float down the river and it's just like a downstream, so you don't have to do as much work, but it's a lot of fun. My family and I did it last year, and we're looking to participating again this year because it was so much fun. We also have a trolley. That's a little picture on the bottom left-hand corner there, that you can get a city tour from that. The college actually at orientation, we'll talk a little bit about orientation a little bit later, but we also give you a tour of the city through on that trolley. We have these air balloons that come out. There's a festival, and we've had them now for 2 to 3 years. And it's a very popular destination. People go and check out these air balloons where they are. There's always news on social media as to where they'll be located, and so people go and flock there to see the hot air balloons. And of course, we have snow, we have ice. So there's opportunities to go sledding, skiing, and you name it. So it's tobogganing, all these different things, or ice skating, that opportunity is there. As you can see on the bottom right-hand corner, you may not be familiar with this sport, but it's called curling, and it's a very popular sport in Canada. And so our students have had the opportunity to enjoy that and participate in curling. So if you get a chance to do that, it's a lot of fun. Do so. Now here's pictures of our city specifically. Our downtown is shown on there. It is a very vibrant community, and it has a lot of stores there. Now it's not a very huge downtown, but it's very historical as well, so you learn a lot about it. You can also get a tour of the downtown, and you can go through and learn more about the historic buildings. It's a very interesting tour. We also have the Esplanade. The Esplanade there's a museum in there where they bring the history of Medicine Hat into that. And then we also have smaller size concerts that take place there and other cultural events throughout the year. And again, very enjoyable, very nice location, and large. Capacity is quite large. It can bring in good shows to it. You also have Medalta. Medalta is a very historical place. They obviously, you can see some pottery there. So there's kilns there that you can tour, where you can see how it used to be done. Now this place is closed as a production place, but you can still enjoy it as a tour. And we also take students there on our tour at the beginning of the year, so you can enjoy and learn more about that. So definitely lots of things. We also have it's more of a place where they have bigger facility. It's called the Co-op Place, and that's where local hockey team plays. And we have bigger location for bigger concerts that also come to that place. So yes, definitely lots of beautiful and very clean places here in Medicine Hat. And here we have more of a little bit of drive, a little jaunt to get to, but I was talking about this place is 3 hours away, this place is 4 hours away. In Canada, really, to tell you the truth, there's nothing for us to just get on the car and drive for hours to get to a place and then come back, maybe stay overnight and come back the next day. So we're so used to driving to places that take a little longer to get to, because we like to enjoy what we have here at home. But there's this little jaunt there where you can see the bikes, people riding bicycles. It's a very cool, like it's in the city. It's only about a 10-minute drive to Redcliffe. In between Medicine Hat and Redcliffe, there's this nice bike trail. And then under there, there's Banff National Park. I'm sure many of you probably hear Banff is one of those very famous national parks. For, as Clara mentioned, it's only 4-hour drive from Medicine Hat. And then there's a lot of camping, Elkwater, Cypress Hills. Our closest one is Elkwater, and then there's the Cypress Hills Interprovincial Park, which is only about an hour and a half or so less, and very beautiful places to go camping, to go hiking, to go bike riding, mountain bike riding, and even at Cypress Hills Interprovincial, they also have a golf course for all those who love to play golf. They have that too. Red Rock Coulee, beautiful location, beautiful place. The sand is, or the rock is actually red, hence the name. And then we have Waterton Lakes, which are about a 3-hour drive from us. Another national park. It's binational, so it's US and Canada both have this lake, and so it's really interesting to go there. It's a lot of hiking you can do there. You can see. Actually, I've always seen bears every time I've gone. You just stay away, just play it safe. But yeah, you can see a lot of bears. You can go hiking. Beautiful waterfall there, and so lots of nature. Canada has a lot of beautiful parks. And in the city, we have city trails and 150 kilometers of paved trails for you to enjoy either hiking, either walking, riding a bike. People sometimes are on rollerblades. So we enjoy the sunshine when we have it because, of course, we get a lot of snow. So when the sunshine is out, people are out. And it's just so nice to enjoy those parks. Very clean, very, very groomed, like the nicely groomed. And the one that you see back there is a little man-made lake that you can also rent little boats, canoes actually to go around the lake. And lots of things to do here in Medicine Hat. We really enjoy our summers here because we don't get it all year round. And yes, you probably heard this in other presentations that they have the sunniest city, but I can tell you Medicine Hat is indeed the sunniest city in Canada. We get 330 days of sunshine. So you will see snow and it will be the sun is out. You'll see it raining and the sun will be out. And so we do get a lot of sunshine. So vitamin D, we're there. We get it. And it's nice. And I just don't know if I could live in a place where there's a lot of rain because I just love the sunshine. And so we enjoy, like I said, being out. There's some pictures. There's a golf course. The picture down on the left-hand side is a nice golf course. So if you enjoy golfing, again, we have about 4 golf courses in Medicine Hat. People love their golf, and you can see pictures of the city, quite clean. We have the South Saskatchewan River that you see that goes right in the middle of our city. So that big paddle that I was talking about goes right down this river. So it's very nice. You can see our city hall is on the top right-hand corner at the very far end, and then people from our restaurants and trolleys, and then Medalta that I mentioned before. So going overview a little bit about Medicine Hat. It's a population of about 63,000. We maintained that population for a few years. It is a very nice, safe city. I can attest to that. It's a very warm and welcoming place. People are very friendly. What I love about Medicine Hat is that you feel so safe. I've seen people that walk down the street at 11:30 p.m. as I'm driving by. They have no care in the world. They're actually just walking safely. They don't think about somebody's going to jump them or mug them. That's how safe it is. We have a great police force that is always very active. And so we do pride ourselves for having a very safe city. 95% of the community is satisfied with the quality of living here, and that's really high for a city. And then 91% recommend living in Medicine Hat. I am one of those 91% people that would recommend anybody living in Medicine Hat, especially if you're raising a family. And people are also satisfied highly with the Medicine Hat city services. So we have police, we have City of Medicine Hat that provides all the amenities that we need. And so the services are really good. There's so many things that we can enjoy. Obviously, there's taxes we pay, but we also enjoy the nice city that way. Now, traveling to Medicine Hat from Calgary. So again, we talked about the 3-hour drive and whatever. So we do have a highway. It's the Trans-Canada Highway. And so if you're driving, it's about a 3-hour drive. So 2 hours and 50 minutes, like from city limit to city limit. And then you can also fly here. And if you do that, you will start from obviously the international airport in Calgary, so Calgary International Airport, to Medicine Hat Regional Airport. And students can also take a shuttle. There's a shuttle service that goes from Medicine Hat to Calgary and Calgary to Medicine Hat. They even pick you up at the airport to bring you to your door. So whether you're staying in residence, we'll be talking about residence in a little bit, or whether you're staying at a private home, they will drop you off at your door. So it's a very convenient transportation that we have, and it's just not very expensive either. It's quite affordable to be able to do that. If you don't have a place to stay right away, of course, they will drop you off at the hotel wherever you're going to be staying at. So there is those modes of transportation. So either you can rent a car, you can drive yourself, you can take the shuttle, or you can fly. And the flight is about a 40-minute flight, so it's not very far and not very long. So yes, the plane is quite small, but it's quite the adventure to fly there. And before I pass on to Clara again, I just want to mention the transportation. We have taxi service. We have a couple companies there. That shuttle that I was talking about, you can take from the airport to Medicine Hat. It's called J&L Shuttle Service. We have one rental car company, and you can contact them as well. And we also have U-Ride service. So it's 24/7 rideshare services that we have also in Medicine Hat. You can see the picture of our public transportation. They come right to the bus stop. The bus stop is actually just across from the main doors of the college. So even in cold weather, you can take the bus and you don't walk very far. And it's very affordable to take the bus. You just purchase a monthly or weekly pass, or daily. You can also pay daily. And then our college is also, it prides itself by providing free parking to students and staff. And so you can park anywhere except the plug-in areas. Now, when I talk about plugging, when it gets cold, some vehicles need to be plugged in. And I think this is probably a foreign concept to you, but it's actually quite interesting. You just plug your battery in to the posts, and so that your battery stays warm and it's not so harsh on your vehicle. So those areas that have the plug-in parking, you have to pay a small fee to use, but everywhere else it's open parking and it's free parking here at the college as one of the benefits to coming to Medicine Hat.
Okay, thank you, Connie. So why students choose Medicine Hat College? So Medicine Hat College opened in 1965. So this year, 2025, it will be MHC's 60-year anniversary. We are a smaller institution. We are a public institution, board-governed college, operating as a comprehensive community institution. At this time, we have about 3,000 students, where 17% of them are international. We have students from Indonesia, India, Chile, Nigeria, Ghana, Mexico, Philippines, and we have more students from African countries as well. Currently, we have about 30 programs for international students, from business education, visual studies, science, health studies, as well as technology. Medicine Hat College offers degrees, diplomas, and certificates. Most of our programs are offered in fall. So if you are interested to apply to any of our programs, especially the ones that are eligible for PGWP, I would recommend you to apply for the fall semester. We offer below average tuition fees compared to the other institutions within Canada. Our tuition fees is very affordable. We also offer small class sizes and individual attention. So this is very beneficial for international students, especially the ones who just arrived in Canada. You know, they're very reserved, maybe they're very shy. So having this support is actually helping for all the international students. Supports and services. We support students and provide their services whenever they come to Medicine Hat College. For example, if they have any questions about immigration, if they want to stay in a homestay, or if they have any issues with academic, then we will definitely be able to support them. You're working in Canada after you graduate, which is called postgraduate work permit. So effective on November 1st, 2024, to qualify for a postgraduate work permit, international students must ensure that their chosen field of study is recognized and as in-demand field in Canada's labor market. So those fields are healthcare, agriculture, STEM, trade, as well as transport. So in the past, all of our programs were eligible for PGWP. However, due to that change, we have about 15 programs that are eligible for PGWP. So I'm just going to list it for you here. We have a 1-year certificate program, administrative office professional, computer-aided drafting and design, early learning childcare. This is eligible for postgraduate work permit. This is one of the most popular program at Medicine Hat College. So if you're interested in this program, I would urge you to apply as soon as possible, because even though the deadline to apply is June 15th, but now is almost filled. So I would recommend you to apply as soon as possible. Information technology is also eligible for postgraduate work permit. Healthcare aid is also eligible for postgraduate work permit. So all international students, even they can still apply to all of these programs that we have. The difference is the ones that are not eligible for postgraduate work permit, as soon as they complete their program, they have to return home to their countries. Whereas the ones that are eligible for PGWP, they can extend their stay in Canada. Okay, diploma program, 2 years. These are, I would say, one of the most popular programs at Medicine Hat College. Due to the fact that if the students are studying for 2 years, they are able to get up to 3 years work permit. Whereas if it's only 1-year certificate, they can only get a 1-year PGWP. So on the list here, we have administrative office management, addiction counseling. This is one of our newest program. It's eligible for postgraduate work permit. Business administration, child and youth care counselor, BEAT, criminal justice, early learning child care for a 2-year program, environmental reclamation technician, humanities and social science, infotech, kinesiology, occupational therapist, pharmacy technician, practical nursing. So the ones that are eligible for PGWP, they are very popular and also very competitive. So what it means by competitive. So for example, if the students, in order for them to be admissible to a program, they have to get, for example, 65% grade 12 English. However, because it's a competitive program, admission will look at the stronger students. So even though you are admissible, doesn't necessarily mean you will get an offer. So, but then I would still urge you to apply, because at this, we don't know, perhaps you are one of the stronger candidates. Okay, we have applied degrees, 3 to 4 years, Bachelor of Applied Arts, Art and Design. This is also eligible for postgraduate work permit. We have bachelor's degree in partnership with Alberta University, Bachelor of Science in Nursing, University of Calgary, Bachelor of Education with Mount Royal University. And we do have the post-diploma certificate, which is a 1-year program. So if you've completed a bachelor program in the past, or perhaps diploma programs you are interested in accounting, then these 2 programs might be of interest to you. Intermediate accounting as well as advanced accounting. University transfer. This program is, so we do have a lot of international students choosing this program. The reason is because college courses is more affordable than university. So many of the students would take some courses at our college and then transfer those credits to university. They usually do 1 to 2 years and then transfer it out, because it's just it's more affordable for them. But we do have students who are currently in this program because their program of choice is not yet available in the semester that they're applying for. Like I mentioned before, most of our programs are eligible in the fall. So if the students apply in winter, the programs might not be eligible. So they can take some courses and then transfer those to the fall semester. Hey, tuition cost. So like I mentioned before, Medicine Hat College is very affordable comparing to the other institutions in Canada. So I'm just giving an example for 24-25 intake. For business administration is $14,344, whereas the fees for across Canada for college program in business usually between $16,000 to $20,000 a year. So it is very affordable. So this process is for the 24-25 intake. If you're interested to apply for the September intake, it will come from the 25-26 academic year. The exact fees will be available next month, I believe. So, I will definitely be able to provide updated information as soon as we get those fees. Okay. So this is our program chart. As you can see, these are the programs that we offer to international students. And on the next column is how the length of the program, and then when is the program available, the fees, as well as the IELTS, and then the internship. So what happens is for the IELTS, a lot of our programs require IELTS 6 in all band. So it means that you have to get at least 6 in reading, writing, listening, and speaking. So if these are, for example, child and youth care counselor, it requires 7 IELTS. It means that you have to have at least 7 in all bands. So not all the programs have internship, but then if you do, then you can apply for the co-op work permit as well at the same time as the study permit. Okay, so this is the admission list. This has the requirement for the students. So as you can see, I'm just giving an example. Early learning childcare on the bottom there. It is a 2-year diploma. The fees is $16,889. The IELTS requirement is 6 in all bands, and the requirement is only grade 12 English, 50%. So you can see, well, it's only 50%. I'll be able to get a seat easily. But the thing is, this is very competitive. So the program itself, we don't have huge numbers for international students. So I would urge you to apply early. And like I mentioned before, because it's competitive, admission will look at the stronger students with stronger grades. So even though you are admissible, doesn't necessarily mean you will get an offer. But of course, you can definitely apply. And one more thing, if, for example, you apply and you didn't get an offer because another student has a stronger grade, then admission will be able to ask you which other program you are interested in, and they will be able to process that for free. So if you're not admissible, if you didn't get a seat, then we'll be able to assist that for you, so you don't have to pay additional fees. Okay, so these are some of the other programs as well. So one of the program that is very popular here is Healthcare Aid. So students are able to get to apply with a grade 12 English, minimum 55%. However, they need to take an AccuPlacer test. So AccuPlacer test is pretty much like a grade 12 English, I'd say. And the fees would be about 28 USD. So this is a very popular program. It's eligible for postgraduate work permit. So if you are interested in this program, it's only 1 year, then I would urge you to apply as soon as possible. Okay, campus services and amenities. We have Crave. Crave is a place where the students usually hang out, play pool. So it's like a restaurant/bar, I'd say. And then on the left corner there's our gym. It's free for staff as well for students. In the middle there's the bookstore. So usually students will just buy all their requirement for their classes at the bookstore, and the price is reasonable. On the right corner, you can see the library. I love the library. I think it's one of the most beautiful libraries I've seen. And then on the right corner there's Usually students will go there and have classes or events, I'd say. So it's a very nice place to stay, especially for international students, because it's a very comfortable environment. Oh,
And I just wanted to add that we have a very beautiful campus. I'm very proud of our campus. As you can see in those pictures, there's a lot of natural light as well. So we take advantage of our natural light. So there's no dark, weird places. So it's a very natural, beautiful campus with lots of natural light. Now I'm going to talk about the academic and personal supports. As Clara mentioned earlier, we do have supports available to our international students, and some are specific to international students. As you can see on the first column there, the academic supports. The academic support individual will help you with time management skills, with study skills. We always say study smarter, not harder. So she'll give you the skills that you need to make sure that you are taking advantage of the time or limited time you may have to study and making the most of it. There's, of course, academic advising. So you have specific academic advisors for each program. Where my role comes in is where I work with the other academic advisors to ensure that you are still meeting all the other requirements as an international student study permit holder, because there are some responsibilities as a study permit holder that you have to meet, such as maintaining full-time status throughout your program if you want to be able to work on or off campus, or graduate with a postgraduate work permit. You have to maintain full-time status. So that's where my role comes in. And there's, of course, Claire, I can also answer questions on immigration. And we have one other individual in our office that also works with within the department, within our group, that also provides immigration answers to your questions. And they're on temporary immigration, not permanent, because our scope of practice only allows us to speak on temporary residence. The other one is writing support. So there's two individuals that will help you with making sure that your papers are following the standard format you're supposed to be completing. When your instructor may say you have to provide, this paper that's maybe like 10 to 14 pages after your research, but it has to be in a specific format like MLA or Chicago or APA. These may not mean anything to you, but when you come here, you will learn about that. So we have an individual that is specifically working with our international student population to ensure that you're meeting the standards of your assignments and or understanding what the assignment's all about, structuring it. And she is also there to help you with even the language, like is your writing, your grammar correct? And so she is amazing. And so we have that support for you. And the writing supports are there to help you with all those areas, as well as the international academic assistant. The library services too, they also offer services in providing you with the MLA, APA, Chicago styles of writing. There's lots of resources for you to use. We also, of course, we understand students go through a lot of changes when they're here. They may be homesick. They may be suffering from anxiety or depression. We have amazing counseling care services. The mental health care team, just fabulous. If a student is feeling that it's a very dire situation they're going through, there's a referral to this student at risk support team that right away meets and discusses what the best supports are for the students, and will bring those supports to you. And then we have a chaplaincy service as well. So our chaplain is able to talk to anybody with like whatever background you're coming from, whatever your religious background is. He's able to at least listen to you and maybe even comfort you. He's there to pray with you if needed. So we do have that spiritual aspect of help here. Health and wellness, of course, you looked at the fitness center, beautiful location, beautiful place. We also have a trail that goes around. It's called the Sunrise Rotary Trail. It goes around the whole campus. So very safe to go and walk around. We have our on-campus recreation, so fitness classes that are free to all students and staff. So some of our staff take advantage of them. And we also have a doctor on site. So we have a clinic here on campus, and you can visit that clinic. You don't have to then go outside, because sometimes you have to wait longer when you go to the other drop-in clinics. So our clinic is here. You make an appointment, you show up, and we have a doctor right here to help you. You also have insurance to cover some of those costs. So there's something that I'm going to talk about in a bit. Campus supports, of course, career services for students that are looking at trying to find a job, we have amazing individuals that will help you with career planning, with resume writing, and even doing mock interviews so you can prepare yourself. Because in Canada, it's very different. Your resume looks very different than probably what your resumes would look like in your country. Age is not included. Your date of birth is not included. A picture, a photograph is not included. So there's different things that you need to know. So these individuals are there to help you. We have student residents. We'll talk about that in a bit too. Student association. The student association is amazing. They're there for you. You actually pay their salary because among the domestic and international fees, students have to pay extra fees. One of those is to student association. So every student pays to have them there because they represent you when you have some issues that are academic or none. And then, of course, we have a very safe community on campus as well. We have the Human Rights Support Committee that will listen to you if you feel that you're being offended in any way, either race, age, whatever, you name it. They're there to support you and to help you. And of course, we have a security group that is also always walking around, making sure everybody is safe on campus. So here's some pictures of, again, our beautiful campus. As you can see, it's very clean. The lawns are maintained really well. People are very respectful. People are friendly. People are able to help you. So there's just some of our pictures around campus that we have. And it's a very modern facility. We take pride in that, like I said before. And so it's not huge, so you don't get lost, which is nice. You can easily find your way around our campus. Some of the international services that we provide to specifically our international students, of course, immigration advising, like I said, on temporary residents only, health insurance. Everyone has health insurance, international students and domestic students, but your insurance covers additional things that the domestic students does not. So you have to have the international insurance, it's mandatory. The homestay is a possibility if you want to live with a family. They can provide room and board, so you can stay with them and provide meals. You definitely have to talk to our colleague to set that up. We have the International Ambassador Program for our students to get involved and be more. If you've already felt like you have a semester under your belt and you're like, I'd like to help others who are coming in who are new, you can sign up for our ambassador program, and we use you for many different events and many different activities. Their mentorship program is there too. So for those who've already been here longer, they can mentor someone who's just coming in. Connection is so important. If you don't have that connection, sometimes you feel out of place. You may feel lonely. So we do offer that for you to make sure that you make those connections early on so that you enjoy the most of your stay here. General advice, referrals to other places, even outside of medicine, outside of the college, such as like bank, where to go shopping, where to find things. Student orientation is mandatory because it covers so much information that we want our students to know. So we do have a mandatory student orientation. The top picture on the left side there is our student orientation. Our colleague Lulu is presenting there. We cover a lot of really important information, so that's why we make it mandatory. And of course, academic supports. That is available to you. That's where I come in to provide that support to you. Okay. These are some of the quotes from our past and current students, how they're happy to be here with us. For example, Janine talking about the program, the business administration, she said the programs offered at Medicine College are both practical and hands-on because it helps to prepare you as a professional for the world of work. So very important. Anushka, she got involved in the student association, so she was very active on our campus. She did amazing. She talks about how nothing's more rewarding than coming home and knowing that you have love your job and you want to wake up and do more work. So she's to experience that. And we have the current student here, Victor, at the very bottom there. He says he decided Medicine Hat College. It was his choice because it's in a small town with small population. It is a college with a lot of international students, and they're not just all from one country. So we pride ourselves in our diversity. So you're able to practice your English. And he says he has a good international community. And we also have a campus in Brooks. So between Calgary and Medicine Hat, there's a small city that's called Brooks. We have a small campus there. We run 2 programs there. The upgrading students. So any high school courses that need to be upgraded to get that grade to get into the program that you want is offered also at the Brooks campus. And most importantly, one of the popular programs is the practical nurse program that is also available only at the Brooks campus. We offer one on campus in Medicine Hat, but that's only available to our domestic students because of funding that we received from the government that was very specific to domestic students. But our international students can apply and get accepted to the one at our Brooks campus, which is about an hour from our city. It's closer to Calgary. And there's about 100 full-time students at that campus. So it's a very intimate, very small, very community-like campus. And students really pride themselves there for that campus.
Okay, for the important dates, the fall application open was on October 1st, 2024, and the application will be closed on June 15, 2025. However, even though, like I mentioned before, even though it will close in June, I would urge you to apply as soon as possible because many of our seats, especially the ones that are eligible for PGWP, are full. And also this one here, proof of study permit. So at Medicine Hat College, we ask students to provide proof of study permit whenever, as soon as they get their study permit, because we want to secure their seats. So if you don't have your study permit by August 15th, we will have to withdraw you from the program because we need to make sure that you will be in class for September. For the winter 2026 application deadline, the winter application will be open on June 2nd, 2025. It will be closed on October 1st, 2025, and the proof study permit is on December 15, 2025. For winter 2026, like I mentioned before, all of our programs, unfortunately, are not eligible for PGWP. But of course, if you are interested in any of those programs and you're thinking of just taking those programs and return home to your country, then of course you can apply. The programs that we currently have for winter 2026, there are university studies, humanities and social science, as well as business administration. How to apply? So the first thing you need to do is you need to go on our website and choose which program you are interested in, and then you need to apply through the online application, which is alberta.ca, applyalberta.ca. You need to pay the 125 non-refundable application. If you do have any questions, any issues with the online application, you can email in@mhcav.ca, and I'm the one who have that email, so I will be able to send you the paper application. So as soon as you submit those applications, you can send us the supporting documents such as IELTS, official transcripts, as well as passport. As soon as admission receives all those documents, they will process it, and it usually takes about 4 to 5 weeks for you to get an offer if you are admissible. So if you do get an offer, you need to pay a deposit to secure a seat in the program. So the deposit is $5,000 and you need to pay it within 21 days to secure your seat. For certain countries, you have to have an additional installment required to pay, which is about $10,000. So as soon as you get the SPAL and PAL, the SPAL is study permit acceptance letter, and the provincial attestation letter, you can then apply for your study permit. As soon as you get your study permit, please let us know so then we know that you're coming in September or January and we can secure your seat. Okay, so like I mentioned before, some countries, we call it the low study permit approval countries, are required to put a tuition installment of $10,000 prior to your seat being confirmed. So it means that you need to pay $15,000 before we will send you the SPAL and the PAL. The reason is because by paying this amount of money, the chances of you getting a study permit is higher, because we've seen students which only had 5,000 payment usually do not get a study permit, but those who pay up to 15,000 will be the probability is higher. So some of the countries that we have here on the list are Albania, Algeria, Gabon, Ghana, Kenya. We do have Myanmar, for example, Zambia, Zimbabwe. So we have this list on our website. So if you want to know whether your country is on the list, you can definitely go to our website. Okay, so this is what Apply Alberta looks like online. And if you are interested to apply online, and if you don't know how to do it, you can definitely connect with me, and I will send you the step-by-step instruction.
Okay. All right. So more beautiful pictures of our lovely city. This is about where should you stay when you come to study. I mentioned these a little bit previously. I'm just going to elaborate a little bit more. So we have student residence available. There are two types of residence. So we have Coulee View and we have Gulf View. The Gulf View is a little bit older residence. The Coulee View is a newer residence, and that's the picture that you see there, as well as our Brooks campus has also residence available for students. Now, all of these units are for single students only. We don't have family units, so only single students can stay there. But what do the places offer? They offer a common living room, kitchen, and dining area, and then you have your own private bedroom, and there's 4 bedrooms to a unit, and then 2 bathrooms. So you share only a bathroom with one other individual, so you're not having to share with all 4. And of course, they are all the women in one, all the men in another. They're not co-ed, so we keep that separate. And the cost is affordable. So you're looking at about $6,800 or $685 per month, which is about $2,400 per semester, which you pay up front. Now, it does not include a meal plan, so you still have to cook on your own, but it does offer other things like the utilities are covered, because sometimes when you rent an apartment, utilities are not covered, you have to pay extra. These utilities are covered, so your water, electricity, and your heat are covered. Accommodations, of course, very affordable. Like I said, they're 4-bedroom units, and they have TV, you have a stove, microwave, fridge, freezer. You have a little desk that you can use in your own bedroom with your bed, and a little closet. Now, you're not seeing sheets, blankets, pillows, those kinds of things. Those are personal items that you'll have to provide yourself, that you can purchase once you get here. Of course, we don't expect you to bring them from overseas. Unless you're comfortable with your pillow, you can bring your pillow with you. So that's what we have available to you as students. This is another picture of those residences, the one on like what you see on the outside, and this is the older unit, the one on the left, and then the newer units on the right-hand side. Here's a layout of the buildings, and you can kind of have an idea. So you can see it's a 2-minute walk from your unit to the college, especially if you're on this side of campus. The other one is just across the street. But many students live in residence because it's a very lively way to meet people. They have activities that they do. And so if you want to meet people, you want to get involved, residence is a really great place to live. And there's also off-campus. Now we're not responsible for the off-campus list, but students are able on our website to check out the off-campus list. That's individuals from Medicine Hat that want to rent a room, or sometimes a basement suite, or sometimes a whole apartment to others. And so they list what they offer there and the cost that they want, plus the damage deposit. The damage deposit is the same amount as your rent, so the amount to pay. Like if it's say $700 you have to pay, then you double that, then it's $1,400 you pay up front, because the damage deposit is if something is damaged, that deposit is not returnable. But if it's the same condition that you found it in, you leave it clean and everything else, then they will return to you that damage deposit. Now, I always recommend that people take pictures when they move in, because then they know what it was like when they moved in, and they can't be then charged for something that they didn't do, like a hole in the wall or stain on the carpet or something. So that's my recommendation. And of course, here is our lovely office of our international education office. As you can see, we are very welcoming. You can just walk in. We sometimes have appointments, so you could just wait on the couches there, and we'll come and answer your questions. We also have different individuals that do different jobs. We're not going to get into all of that, but it's just a very friendly, welcoming place. So this is all we had to say. Now we just want to open it up for questions. If you have any questions, please feel free to ask now, and we'll be happy to answer them for you.
Brilliant. Well, thank you so much for that incredible presentation. Very insightful
Thank you for
on
the opportunity. Yeah.
day in the life at Medicine Hat. So we do have a few questions actually. The first one is, what's the accommodation like? I think you covered that in some detail, but I'm not sure if there's anything you wanted to add on that at all.
So there's activities that happen in for those students staying in residence. And so they try to build that community, but the accommodation, so you have a bed with a mattress, and then you just have to provide your sheets, your blankets, towels, your own personal use of like your own toiletries, that kind of thing. But you do share a fridge, you share the stove, you share the dining area. So everybody has to be respectful of other people's properties, and that's a very thing. Like in Canada, everybody respects other people's properties. So, but you have your own room with your own door that you can lock, so no one is coming into your room without your permission. And then you have a desk right in your room where you can study. You have a lamp there for you to study so that you are having a place that's quiet that you can concentrate in. And so it's very clean facilities. There's rules, of course. You can't smoke outside. You can drink, but it has to be very moderately. Like you can't go getting drunk or having loud parties. There's a quiet time. I believe it's 12 o'clock on weekends and 11 o'clock on weekdays that you have to be quiet time. You can't be having any major noises then. And then there's a unit where you can have a small gathering. Sometimes the chaplain will have cooking from ethnic groups, and they'll come there and cook an ethnic meal, and then everybody shares it. So yeah, it's a really nice community, and like I said, a great opportunity to meet students, to meet people from different countries, practice your English, and really get to know the facility.
Yeah, that's really good to know, especially for people coming from far away, that they have their own space, and also just what the atmosphere is like. So, perfect. So again, I think you might have covered this, but uh, Alba wants to know if it gets very cold, and how cold, I guess, it can
Yeah,
get.
it is. It can get quite cold. So, for example, last year I think it reached about 40 minus 42 degrees Celsius. But then it's only for about a couple of days, perhaps 3 or 4 days. And then afterwards, I mean, this is Canada. It is still cold, right? So maybe minus 42 degrees Celsius for 3 to 4 days, and then it goes up to minus 20. So for us, I mean, like I mentioned, this is the sunniest city in Alberta, in Canada. So it is, even though it's cold, but it's very sunny. It feels, I mean, I like it. What do you think?
Yeah, you know what? I've never gotten used to the snow. I've never gotten used to the cold. But my family loves it. My children love it because, of course, they're born here. But I was born in of course, a warm country, and I have though just to enjoy snow. I've taken on like more of those snow sports. Like there is snowshoeing, there's cross country skiing, downhill skiing, tobogganing, and then you can enjoy the snow. So it gets cold, but we also all survive it because we dress warm. There's a lot of things you can use to keep your body warm. There's toques, like a hat you can wear, warm. We call it toque in Canada. We have mitts. You have jackets that are thick. You have scarves. You have some. You put some pants under your jeans, for example, that keep your legs warm, especially if you're walking, right? Even from residence to the main campus, you have to walk a little bit. So you have to dress warm. You have snowshoes that, like snow boots that you can't we just wear your runners when it's really snowy because you're just going to get your socks all wet and your feet all wet, and that's not a good thing. So you try to protect whatever area of your skin is exposed. And really, even if it sounds like, wow, it's minus 40, it sounds scary to you because you're not used to that. But once you live through it, you are like, okay, well, I can do this because I'm covered and I'm protected. So yeah.
Well,
Oh, but on the other hand, it also gets really hot. So in the summer, we can get up to 40 degrees Celsius. So it's like the opposite from 40 minus 40 all the way to plus 40.
that's good insight into what students should pack. Um, yeah, maybe pack a big coat and also a t-shirt. So,
Yeah.
perfect. And then we have one more question, which is it possible to change your major during your course, or is it kind of based on what you sign up for, or yeah, how does the structure work?
So if a student would like to change their course, I would actually ask them to see Connie, and Connie will have an interview with them, basically asking them why, the reason they want to switch courses, and also whether they're admissible to the program that they are interested in, and then if they and what is their long time goal. So those are pretty much all the questions that Connie would ask, but you can definitely elaborate if you want to.
Yeah. Yeah, so we just want to make sure that because every program has admission requirements, as Clara had mentioned before. So if you may meet admission for one program, doesn't mean that you meet admission to the next program. So we have to make sure that before you apply and you spend $125 on your application, that you will make sure that you're eligible, first of all. Do you have the language requirements? Clara mentioned that some programs only require an IELTS of 6. Others are more academic, so they require a higher level, which is 7. So if you don't have that 7, you may not meet admission either. There's other ways to meet it. If you already took an English class in the first semester and you're switching out a different semester, that kind of thing. But there are those complications. So we do want to make sure that, or is the program available too? Like, is it already full? Because again, we don't want you wasting the $125 for a program that's already full. You won't have a chance for admission. So definitely come see me. We'll discuss what's available if you're able to. Now, one rule that we have at the college though is you cannot switch that first semester because you've already selected the program and you could have taken a seat that somebody else would have wanted. So we need to make sure you stay in that first semester program, at least for that semester, and then look at switching the following semester. Sometimes we reduce your courses. Instead of taking like a regular 5-course load, you may take a 3-course load, just so you're not paying as much money because you're not going to stay in that program anyways. So, but we have to make sure that you still maintain that full-time status. I hope that answered the question. If not, please ask.
Brilliant. Yeah. Well, thank you so much. I think that's it in terms of questions. Yeah, I'm not sure if maybe Connie and Clara, you have anything else you'd like to add before we wrap things up.
For me, so basically, if you're interested in studying at Medicine Hat College, I would urge you to go to our website and then see the programs that we offer, and then you need to see the deadline as well because it's very close now. It's in June, so I would recommend you to look at our website, and if you have any questions, please contact us.
Yeah, we'd definitely love to have you. So consider Medicine Hat College. It has a lot of benefits coming here, as we mentioned. Give us a call, email us if you have any other questions. We will be happy to help you. So yeah, thank you for the opportunity to share our college and our city with you, and we hope to be able to host you someday.
Well, thank you so much to our lovely panelists today, Connie and Clara, and thank you for the attendees as well. And to the students that weren't able to attend the session live, we'll send you a recording very soon. So thank you very much, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. Bye-bye.